Let's be honest, our lives are basically run by AI. In this video you will see by day 3 I was completely lost, literally and figuratively. But what I discovered on day 6 about who I really am without algorithms will probably surprise you as much as it surprised me. My news comes from a feed that knows what I'll click on, my GPS knows the traffic before I do, and my music app knows my mood better than my best friend. AI is everywhere, quietly nudging me through my day. It's the ultimate convenience, the invisible hand guiding modern life. And it's made me wonder what would actually happen if I just turned it all off. So, I did for one whole week. I unplugged from every piece of artificial intelligence I could find to see how my life would change. I wanted to know if I was still the one calling the shots or if I was just following a script written by an algorithm. From wrestling with paper maps to losing all my personalized content, this is what happened when modern convenience went out the window. Welcome back to Mentor's Mindset. Before I could start, I had to lay down some ground rules. This wasn't about ditching the internet entirely, just cutting ties with the AI that makes it all run so smoothly. First up, no AI navigation. That meant Google Maps, Waze, and Apple Maps all had to go. In their place, a stack of paper maps that looked like they were straight out of my parents' glove compartment. Second, social media had to get dumb. I turned off the algorithmic feeds on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I was only allowed to use platforms with a chronological feed, or I had to go looking for people's profiles one by one. Third, all entertainment recommendations were banned. Spotify's Discover Weekly and Netflix's Picks for You, off limits. I was going to have to find new music and movies the old-fashioned way. Fourth, my AI work buddies were fired. No more Grammarly checking my writing, no smart reply for my emails, and definitely no predictive text on my phone. My inbox, which usually has a brilliant AI bouncer, was about to face the wild west of spam. And finally, my voice assistants got the week off. Siri and Alexa were officially on vacation. Every reminder, alarm, and random question had to be handled manually. The rules were set. I took a deep breath, deleted a bunch of apps, and started the clock on my 7 AI-free days. Day 1 hit me like a truck, and that truck was named navigation. I had a meeting across town, a drive I've made 100 times with a calm voice telling me exactly where to go. This time, my co-pilot was a giant, crinkly paper map spread unhelpfully across my passenger seat. The inefficiency was just staggering. Without AI checking for traffic, I drove right into a jam an app would have easily dodged. I missed a turn and there was no friendly recalculating to save me. There was just me, pulled over on the side of the road, trying to find a tiny street on a massive grid of paper. A 30-minute trip took over an hour and I showed up late, stressed and completely flustered. It was a brutal reminder that AI maps don't just get you there, they optimize your life and save your sanity. Actually, I would like to know if it was you, how would you react? Comment down below. Day 2 was when the world went quiet. My morning commute, usually filled with a podcast my phone had perfectly selected for me, was silent. I tried turning on the radio, but it all felt so random and jarring. The real shock, though, came when I opened social media. My Instagram feed, now strictly chronological, was a ghost town. It was just a few posts from hours or even days ago. The addictive, dopamine-pumping scroll was gone, replaced by a slow, boring and disconnected experience. It was so dull, I started looking into platforms like PixelFed and Kara I'd heard about, which are built on chronological feeds. They felt more honest and less manipulative, but the communities were tiny. It felt like stepping back into 2009. It was the first time I realized just how much AI works as my personal social director, making sure I'm always entertained and always scrolling. By day 3, the experiment started messing with my work, and let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. Without its AI bodyguard, my email inbox was a certified disaster zone. Spam for products I would never ever buy flooded my primary folder, and cleaning it out felt like a full-time job. Every part of communicating felt like I was moving through mud. I had to type out full email replies that a smart reply button could have handled in a second. Without AI writing assistance, my workflow slowed to a crawl. I spent an embarrassing amount of time hunting for typos that would normally be underlined in red for me. Research shows AI can save people hours of work a week, and I was now living in that deficit, wasting time on busy work that an algorithm does in a blink. Day 4 was all about entertainment, or the complete lack thereof. Friday night rolls around and I'm ready to watch a movie. I opened Netflix but stuck to my rule, no clicking on personalized recommendations. I was left staring at a massive, unfiltered library of thousands of movies and shows. The feeling wasn't freedom, it was decision paralysis. After scrolling aimlessly for 20 minutes, I just gave up. I ended up texting a friend for a recommendation, a radically human solution. The same thing happened with music. Without Spotify's genius playlists, I just listened to the same 2 or 3 albums on repeat because the effort of finding something new felt enormous. It turns out AI doesn't just give us what we want, it saves us from the overwhelming task of having to choose from everything. Then on day 5, something changed. Day 5 changed everything about how I saw this experiment. The raw frustration started to dissolve and this weird sense of calm took its place. The world just felt quieter, not just in my ears, but in my head. Have you ever experienced a sense of calm without no phone? Please drop your comment. My phone wasn't constantly buzzing with perfectly timed notifications designed to pull me back into an app. My social media feed was no longer an endless, anxiety-inducing highlight reel from strangers. It was just a quiet place I could pop into and then leave, on my own terms. Then I noticed something else. The creepy, hyper-specific ads that follow you around the internet were gone. By starving the algorithms of my data, I was no longer the product being sold. There was a real sense of power in that. It felt like I was taking back a piece of myself. Day 6 was the day I decided to just lean into it. Instead of fighting the analog life, I embraced it. I went to a real bookstore and bought a novel from the staff picks shelf. I walked into a record store and bought a CD from a local band because the album art looked cool. I even asked a stranger for directions and we had a nice 2-minute chat. These little interactions felt so much more meaningful because they were real. They were curated by humans, not by data. I was rediscovering a slower, more intentional way of living where the goal wasn't just to be efficient, but to be engaged. I wasn't just consuming anymore, I was actively experiencing the world. On the last day, I felt a strange mix of relief and worry. I'm not going to lie, I missed the convenience. I missed knowing the fastest way home and finding a new favorite song with a single tap. Modern life runs on AI-driven efficiency, and for 7 days, I had been trying to swim upstream. It was exhausting, but I also felt this incredible clarity. This experiment showed me just how much of my life I had outsourced to algorithms. My tastes, my schedule, my focus, they were all being subtly shaped by code. Taking that away forced me to be more present, more deliberate, and frankly more in charge. It made me ask what I like versus what an app was telling me I should like. The week was a massive pain, but it was also a massive wake-up call. So after 7 days of digital detox, was it worth it? 100%. Living without AI was frustrating, inefficient, and at times deeply boring. But it was also completely necessary. It felt like someone finally turned off the non-stop background music in my brain and I could hear my own thoughts clearly for the first time in years. Before this, my digital life was seamless, easy, and passive. Now, I see the trade-off. The price we pay for ultimate convenience is often our own intention. The systems that make life easy can also start making our choices for us. And over time, that chips away at our ability to choose for ourselves. I'm not about to throw my smartphone in a lake or cancel my streaming accounts. But I am making some changes. I'm keeping my social media feeds chronological. I'm making a real effort to find new music and books from friends, not formulas. And I'm trying to use the map in my head before I reach for the one on my phone. This wasn't about rejecting technology, it was about reclaiming my relationship with it. It was a reminder that these tools are supposed to work for us, not the other way around. And sometimes the only way to really feel that is to turn them all off and see who's still there. The final day revealed something I never expected. And that gets me thinking about you. What's the one AI tool you feel like you absolutely couldn't live without? Drop it in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this little trip into a less convenient life, be sure to subscribe for more videos where I challenge the way we live. Thanks for watching.